93, it might be a different story.
Yeah, Rossi was 9/10 of a second slower over
The French team next year, but Leccaona's doing a brilliant job. 10th at the moment.
Rossi had profited a little in Sector 1, but he's lost half a second in Sector 2.
Throughout that opening 45-minute session.
Down on speed, but not down on determination. Franco.
I think you have to be happy with progress.
Yeah, actually I'm happy with progress, but at the same time we are aware that we were with Aleix the only one with
I'm quite happy about the aero development we are doing, and I'm sure that we will far away from that. So obviously we have a different engine layout that will be the top choice. At the same time, it's a good news that it's still a bit too early. Maybe it could be that it's still the case. Even as a test ride, we saw what Pedrosa did with KTM, for example.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, here. Thank you very much to Massimo Rivola for talking there to Simon Vizioso to race for them in 2020.
Be the first man in the Premier Class since Monday afternoon. He looked in great nick again this morning. Only 6 quickest. We know that he didn't go for Brian Steve. I think it's a compromise which has satisfied everybody. Safe of this famous Barcelona circuit as well. So yeah, I've not really heard anybody complaining too much.
Pecco Bagnaia, will he be going into almost
Paper like a big haul of points coming their way?
And so will this man, Davide Tardozzi, that he can find his way back up onto technical information about the Italian manufacturer.
Yeah, nothing much has changed between FP1 and FP2. All the factory machines fiction, it's front and rear, and I'm guessing that they're looking...
Thanks for that, Simon. They were 9th and 10th this morning in the free practice 1-3. He's going to give it a little look.
Some big decisions need to be taken. Valentino Rossi's long and successful Grand Prix career. It does look like 2020 under his name racing in MotoGP, but not Valentino Rossi it seems. And of course that begs the... not exactly sport.
Before coming to the commentary box, and he said he's in for a busy few weeks. If Valentino Rossi were to find something, if there is one, Petronas, Yamaha, depending on what Valentino Rossi decides to do. The names Dixon, Roberts, I've even heard the name Arbolino banded around this morning.
This year. So yeah, of course it all depends on what the doctor decides to do. A successful operation this morning. There'll be more details released.
I don't want to bother you in FP1, but now you've spoken to him after FP1. How did he feel?
After practice, he's not in a rush. He's painkiller this morning just to have a roughly idea how was the pain. Good, but yeah, we have to be patient. He has to be patient.
And the listeners an idea where his pain is, what's causing him the most problem out of all his
thumb finger. But yeah, the important thing is he has control. He has power.
Impressive ride again from Joan in Mugello. The bike a little bit at the end, or struggling with something right at the end of the race. Can you give us an idea?
A great race, and he was pretty close to the leading our competitors. So respect on their speed, and he's fast enough so far everywhere. And we don't complain. I mean, respect of who is faster than others.
And Catalunya.
Really busy already ahead of Quattararo, his former teammate. Marc Marquez and Paul Espargaro on the Repsol Hondas are in the top 5 as well.
When you think he's on that hard rear tyre as well, will that be just less than a tenth between the two, former Petronas, Yamaha SRT.
See how Mir and Suzuki tackle the next few races. Of course, Joan was second here.
September, didn't they? 2 bikes on the podium for the first time in 13 years. MotoGP arena, of course, with the a kind of rear squat device, I guess it's called, for better acceleration coming at the moment for the Moto2 winner here last year. In fact, a quick
this morning that he's a fan of this circuit, and after the drama of Mugello last weekend, he's home in this session and only 4/10 down on the fastest time set by Franco Morbidelli.
Garage, the engineers in particular back in Mattinghofer, and what you want, all Oliveira's in hot.
A medium front, medium rear for him at the moment, 5th place. Encouraging signs so far in the early stage to find your optimum line, so I don't think they're going to be the last riders we see going a bit heavy into...
With Lorenzo Savadori for company. Who will Marc Marquez pick? He needs references, he needs toes to help him into a fast lap time. He can't do it on his own at the moment. His head is a bit of ahead of his body. It's been hard going since he returned to 3/10 between
15th, which would be a point on Sunday. The other way around. Let's see where
Aside from him, we're in the top 4. Marquez is the only man at the moment that's getting in that Yamaha.
A circuit that Valentino Rossi has always loved and gone well at Premier class.
Well, this is where he needs some tips from Vinales. He was 20th quickest in Sector 1 this morning, basically, in 2 of the 4 sectors.
Dropping down into 10, now climbing up towards 7 and 8. Here's the other Yamaha that at the moment has that rear. We'll stay with Vinales and Valentino Rossi though on circuit.
Well, the last time Maverick Vinales was being followed, it wrecked his entire weekend in Mugello, where he got fairly hot under the collar. Marc Marquez rattled him, got under his skin, and he missed out on a couple of crashes in front of him as well. Vinales, it completely compromised any chance he had of fight. It was 93, it might be a different story.
Yeah, Rossi was 9/10 of a second slower over the half of an hour left here. In Catalunya, it's still Morbideli, quickest from
the French team next year. But Lecco is doing a brilliant job. 10th at the moment. All credit to the 21-year-old Spaniard.
Well, the switch Rossi had profited a little in Sector 1, but he's lost half a second in Sector 2. Is that it's consistently 3 or 4 tenths down in every sector. There's not so often in the past Valentino Rossi, known as the Doctor, has been able to fix these issues Yamaha, and of course they can't just simply go and put in the settings of Quartararo or Vinales because
1:40.096, really strong lap that by Miguel Oliveira. Got into turn 10 once before in this session, and it looks like he's done it again. Goes some Vinales that were caught up in that drama a couple of years ago. I remember Bradley Smith giving his teammate a latest
25cc days. Miguel Oliveira also improving. 200ths down now in
this part of the world. Vinales on course, with a big part to say in that. Jorge Martin put in together a good lap as well. Right now he's the only man in this sector, although he was close. He was within a 10th of his previous best lap. What about Vinales then? Is he heading into the 39s on day 1 here in Barcelona?
Nod of appreciation. He's not had too many fights in his career, if any, with Joan Mir, the current world champion. Didn't he pick Portimao and then in the race? Joan Mir lumped one up the inside.
That's right, yeah, there was a bit of early pace.
For fitness at the moment then. Marc Marquez happy to sit behind Mir, and Marc Marquez doesn't improve neither. This 4th sector that all of the KTMs are struggling in. We saw it a moment ago from Miguel Oliveira. Across the line he does, so 1:39.662, and his side of the garage like that a lot.
Enjoyed that one. I think that's brilliant when you think he was last through Sector 4 this morning. Nearly 2 seconds between the 2 sessions. Excellent job, but I think it might be a short split. Back in second though, good job, 39.
To be the only Ducati rider that might be able to challenge.
As is Morbideli, who knows his way around to a hot lap in Barcelona. He was on pole here last year.
And back Ducati, that's excellent. He just got a lap of Barcelona and a nice goes fastest of 39.2. That is outstanding from the Petronas Yamaha.
2 tenths quicker than anybody else on the circuit right now on a 2-year-old Yamaha. Brilliant. And he's in 7th place. Will that be good enough for a provisional spot in Q2?
Bagnaia is in fact on another decent lap. There is Enea Bastianini, who has rookie.
I was just about to say as well, Bagnaia really did a favour to his great mate to do that lap time of a 40.094.
Still some good laps coming in from Quartararo to better their times. Paulo Espargaro has dropped to 15th, but is on a lap that could put him in. He's dropped to 14th place.
Bagnaia goes top 3 yet again. 39.401 from the World Championship leader, but Zarco stretches. Johan Zarco, a little help from his fellow countrymen, no doubt, but a third side of Pramac Ducati certainly enjoyed it.
Yeah, a number of riders that were in the top 5 for uncharacteristically out of the top 15 there. Things did not improve, I'm afraid, for Alex Enea Bastianini. What a fantastic job he's done there on a 2-year-old Ducati. Look at the names that are... Merci beaucoup, he says to fellow Frenchman Fabio.
Brilliantly. Bit of a shaky practice start though, to be fair, from the Frenchman.
Zombie apocalypse.